Hey everybody, welcome to the last video in my Best of 2017 video series. We've talked about board games, we talked about films, we talked about music, album, and now we're going to wrap it up with the video game of the year, which I'm giving to Zelda Breath of the Wild. Although I'm really giving this to the Nintendo Switch. This is my way around just saying best video game invention of the year or whatever. I'll stick it with game of the year, as that's kind of the standard way that you judge these things, but I will say that it's mostly because Zelda is on the Switch that I'm saying this. Zelda's okay. I'll probably have a video like specifically about Zelda in a couple days. I'm about 20 hours in and I've made it to like the second divine deity or whatever is in the game. So I have a lot more to say about that. I'm okay with Zelda. It doesn't really blow me away, but it does hold my attention, which is kind of a good spot to be in, I guess, for a game in general. I'd rather it hold my attention than not hold my attention, obviously. And the first 10 hours are probably more impressive than the game is after that, once you get used to the exploration aspect of it. So Zelda's really good. I love the open worldness. I love the way that the game plays. I love the way it handles. It's got the traditional Zelda mechanics and all that stuff. Sounds great. It has some weird sort of nitpicky problems with it. Like I don't like the management system. I don't really like the recipe cooking system. The combat is okay, but I feel like it's more complicated than it needs to be in a lot of ways. Like I feel like there's one too many buttons that do things in combat, and I just kind of go in hacking and slashing away at everything. Maybe that's just a problem of getting older. I don't have the time to learn what the shoulder buttons do on the video games anymore. But yeah, it's Zelda's really strong. It's a really great game. Obviously deserves a lot of Game of the Year consideration, but in my opinion, it's actually the game of the year because it came out on the Switch. And I bought my Switch this year. It came out this year. I think the Switch came out in 2017. And it's like the perfect video game system for me at this point in my life, where I don't have the time to sit down in front of the TV or take away the TV from my wife who's watching something after work at night. And it's like a handheld that can turn into a console is like the perfect invention. I know Nintendo gets occasionally too gimmicky with their stuff, and it feels like, yeah, this isn't really working. Like looking at the Wii and the Wii U, but the Switch is really clever, and it really fits like a need that people had for video gaming. I think where it is portable and it can play on the TV if you wanted it to, and it's just like the perfect amount of power and perfect amount of playability that you really want in this sort of on-the-go age of 2017, whatever. But it is interesting. Like I play so much more of the games just because I can play it for the hour before I go to bed when I'm just sitting in bed waiting for sleep to overtake me. But it's really great. I love the Switch. I think it's been a fantastic addition to the console. I don't really touch the PlayStation 4 anymore. Haven't played a PC game outside of like Twilight Struggle in a long time, and I would probably play that on the Switch if it was on the Switch. But yeah, it's great. And the most impressive part about Zelda is that it's on a handheld system like that. You know, it is truly, you can go anywhere in the game. It's an open world game, and anything you see, any mountain in the distance, you can climb and get to the top. There might not be anything worth going to the top of the mountain to get to, which is kind of one of my problems with it, but we'll get to that in the video itself. But yeah, Zelda Breath of the Wild is my game of the year, and mostly because it's on the Switch, which is my video game console of the year. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching all these videos. We talked about the album, film, video game, board game, and that's about it. So happy 2018 to everybody. Check out the Star Trek podcast. If you're unfamiliar, I do a podcast on Star Trek. You can check that out on the channel. Real Ripe and Real Rotten is our film podcast. We do the best and the worst film in an actor and director's career. So we look at the highs and lows of actors and directors. Check that on the channel as well. Otherwise, happy 2018, and I'll see you next time.